Jefferson. Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally, by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you, with a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Western part of Sioux Falls, and we are ready for some high school basketball at Jefferson. It's an inner-city showdown, East versus West, in our Avera Game of the Week on Metro Sports TV and DakotaNewsNow.com. Also on the Outlaw Channel 13.2. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt. The boys are warming up after the girls. The Washington Warriors are in town. And the boys squad comes in at 5-3, while Jefferson is 3-5. Brad, it's a rematch of a game that was played just over a couple of weeks ago at the Pentagon in the President's Bowl Classic.
Yeah, these two teams matched up, like you said, it was just a few weeks ago. And Washington came out on top 72-64, but it was a very close game. In this matchup, you see some of the highlights from that, or just some of the stats that went with that. And I thought both teams played at a pretty high level in that game. And what do you know, the best players kind of for both teams ended up having really, really good games. Mason Payne, post player for Jefferson, that we'll talk more about here in our pregame, really dominant inside. And then Jace Woods, who's just a terrific athlete for Washington, hasn't always scored in double figures a lot for them, but I tell you, when he can get it rolling, he's a really dangerous player too, and you can see both of them played very well in that game.
Yeah, he can jump out of a gym. We know how high he can jump and how fast he can run on a football field, and there's a few Warriors that were wonderful football players that we're going to see in action here tonight, along with Jefferson. So we'll dig plenty more into the matchups of this game, players to watch, keys to winning, all of that, but it is time for our Augustana AA basketball slate for the boys tonight. It's brought to you by Augustana, where you can find your bold, where hands-on learning, a vibrant community, and diverse opportunities prepare you to lead and succeed, Brad. And tonight, as I look at the board, I look at the second line, number 2 Mitchell. They started with a bang. They only lost one game all year last year. Defending state champs, almost everybody back, and all of a sudden they lose 2 in a row to Harrisburg and Huron, dropping them to number 2 behind Lincoln.
Well, they've got the target on their back, right? First of all, right? Everyone wants a piece of Mitchell after them winning the state championship last year, and yeah, they do have almost everybody back, but not everybody, right? And so I think that's a little bit of it too, but I don't think they're going to have any trouble with Brookings here tonight. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to watch. We're going to have them on Metro Sports TV in 2 weeks from tonight when they visit #1 Lincoln.
Ooh.
That is going to be a big-time game. But I tell you, I'm interested in seeing how Lincoln handles life on the road at a Huron team that has been playing better and better basketball. You mentioned they just beat Mitchell this week.
And they just beat Harrisburg, who also has beaten Mitchell. And a top 5 showdown tonight, 3rd-ranked Brandon Valley at #5 Spearfish all the way across the state. 4th-ranked Harrisburg hosting Douglas tonight. Roosevelt at T area. The Titans 5-3 in their maiden voyage in AA. And unranked Yankton facing unranked Watertown. Both teams hungry for a win in an ESD Friday night clash. And we've mentioned the rankings of some of these teams. Here's how exactly they stack up. Mitchell came in, of course, the defending champs, therefore #1. Rocking and rolling early, have lost 2 of 3. So Lincoln, impressive at #1.
Absolutely.
We got to see them early against Harrisburg, and they have just kept on going.
Yeah, we're going to have them on a week from tonight against O'Gorman, and then I mentioned the big matchup 2 weeks from tonight when Lincoln hosts Mitchell. So the Lincoln Patriots have just played terrific basketball. Now, with that said, they've been able to beat a lot of the city teams, but they haven't had to play a lot of true road games. They won at Yankton, but like we mentioned, they're at a really good Huron team tonight. They've got a tilt at Brandon Valley later this season, too, so they've got some tough games still on their schedule, but they are the team right now that everyone's gunning for.
Harrisburg with that win over Mitchell a week ago Tuesday, that sprung them into the top 5. Spearfish rounds it out. Look at that. 6-0 and ranked #5. Washington playing tonight, receiving votes at 5-3. They played Lincoln very close, and they had a knockdown drag out with O'Gorman in overtime on Tuesday night. The Knights prevailed by a point and are 6-2, and they're creeping up on the top 5. But Brad, that touch mark at All Saints top 5 looks very different from the preseason poll just a month ago, which suggests that none of us really knew what to expect, and we didn't. And that's part of the fun. We still really don't.
Exactly, and I think things are very competitive this year in AA basketball, right? I think even some of these teams that you see receiving votes, this Washington team we're going to see tonight, this Jefferson team who is 3-5 tonight, yeah, I mean, they're not getting any love because of the record, but they've played a really tough schedule so far, too. And so I think you're going to see a lot of competitive battles coming down the stretch here in January, February.
We're going to have many of them here on our Rivera Game of the Week. We have so much to lock into when it comes to the Washington Warriors and the Jefferson Cavaliers. Team profiles, players to watch, and our keys to the game, all leading to tip-off, which is about 10 minutes away here from Jefferson on Metrosports.tv, the Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
All have dreams. At South Dakota State University, we dare to dream big. From the arts to the sciences, students and faculty discover what is possible and solve complex problems, challenging ourselves to think differently and impact our world. With SDSU, reaching to the stars starts on solid ground. Experience our elevated approach to education that prepares students to walk toward their future and build something greater.
This guy had more issues with his eyes. The minute he first came out of surgery, he walked in with a huge grin on his face, and for the first time since he was a little kid, he could see perfect.
Going to Vance Thompson Vision was an easy experience. If you're going to trust your eyes to anybody, trust them to a leader in that field.
When it came time for me to make a decision about where we were going to go for my LASIK surgery, there was no question that it would be Vance Thompson Vision.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you. With a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. the grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Welcome back to the Jefferson High School gym. It's Washington and Jefferson on the boys' side, getting ready to tip here in about 4 minutes and 20 seconds. We'll have our lineups and get you all set for this Sioux Falls clash here tonight.
He's Brad Newitt. I'm John Gaskins. Boys are warming up, and let's take a look into the team profiles from both of these combatants, brought to you by South Dakota State University. Starting with the Washington Warriors, who are 5-3, but they have won 4 of 5, and one of their losses was right away at number 1 Lincoln, a competitive game, a 10-point win for the Patriots in the season opener, Brad. And we've already mentioned that they have already beaten these Jefferson Cavaliers by 8 points almost 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, the one loss there was on Tuesday night, a double overtime. Just heartbreaker to O'Gorman, a game that Washington led by double digits in the second half and let it get away on their home floor. But this is a team that has had a really good season scoring the basketball, 62 points a game, pretty good at the high school level. And you can see how veteran a team Jeff Tobin has with 4 seniors in the starting lineup.
Yeah, some familiar faces and athletes from last year's team like Tommy Hoffman, Sam Baskin, Lucas Johnson, and Jace Woods. Jeff Tobin now in his 4th season at the helm after taking over for Craig Nelson, who of course moved on over to Brandon Valley. Well, didn't really move. He was already living in Brandon Valley, and now he is coaching the boys squad, taking over for that town's legend Brent Deckard a few years ago. Tobin right away has established himself in his program as always competitive. Meanwhile, Tim Reck, well, he moved over from Washington, where he was an assistant for a decade, to Jefferson, and he's in his 4th year of the program as the first coach at Jefferson High School. They're 3-5, bit of a struggle. They had a nice 2-1 start. They have lost 5 of 6, just kind of trying to find their way through the forest right now.
Yeah, a little bit. This is a team that's still battling some injuries, as Ed Whiting, one of their best players, has not been able to play this season. They're really hoping to get him back. But I'll be honest with you, Jefferson's played a really tough schedule. First of all, they had to play the number 1 team in the state twice already. Just lost to them here on Tuesday on this home floor. But I tell you what, they've got a nice win winning at Brandon Valley. That is a signature win for this Jefferson team this year. And you can see, they have not played very many games on their home floor. Only 2 of their first 8 have been here. They're looking forward to this opportunity tonight to see if they can avenge the loss they had to Washington at the Sanford Pentagon back in that President's Bowl Classic.
And now let's pick a couple players to watch for tonight. And we've already got the camera on the man for Washington. Tommy Hoffman, our central bank player to watch for the Warriors. He's their leading scorer at 15 points per game. And he's coming off a recent barrage, 23 points, 4 3-pointers in a win over Roosevelt.
Yeah, I mean, this is a kid that can really score the basketball, right? When he gets it going from the three-point line, watch out. He's a volume shooter. He's going to take a lot of shots, but the ball's in his hands a lot, too. He's kind of their point guard, leads them in assists. Quarterback on the football team, as you can see, he's going to go play college football at SMSU. So he acts like that and is that for this basketball team as well. So they really do depend on Hoffman for a lot.
At any given time, a highlight reel waiting to happen, whether it is basketball or football. He's not the only Washington player that is that either. Meanwhile, for the Jefferson Cavaliers, we're going to go today with their big man. You mentioned Ed Whiting, one of their big men, not playing tonight, so that puts the bulk of the post responsibilities on number 50, Mason Payne.
And look what he did the last time these two teams met. 18 points, was 7 of 9 from the field, and had 15 rebounds. Those stats are correct against the Washington Warriors, and 5 of those 15 rebounds. John, we're on the offensive end. So Mason Payne can be a force inside. Now, I don't think, in my opinion, Jefferson's played through him enough at times. Let's see if they can get back to establishing him in the paint tonight and put a lot of pressure on Washington to have to slow him down.
All right, the stage is set. We will have our keys to the game and the tip-off right around the corner Friday night at Jefferson. The Cavs looking for the sweep. The girls team pulled away in the fourth quarter to beat the Warriors. What will happen with the boys? We're about to find out on our Rivera Game of the Week on Metrosports.tv, the Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
For to have cloudy vision flying an aircraft, you have to have perfect vision. It's vital. I came here 4 years ago, Advanced Thompson Vision, and had my first light adjustable lens. About 5 weeks ago I came and had the second one done. It's just the technology is out of this world. It's outstanding, you know. There's nothing else like it in the world. But even if I could get it done in Dubai or Tokyo or Singapore, I wouldn't do it except here. Only Advanced Thompson Vision.
Here at Touch Market All Saints, you're going to be surrounded by history.
When you drive up to our community, you are impressed by the beautiful campus all around. This community is a combination of the old and the new. The old on the exterior, but your apartments are impressive. I've never been so pampered in my life.
So it's the combination of both the history and modernization that makes it fun and enjoyable.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part. Earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
The 3-5 Jefferson Cavaliers hosting the 5-3 Washington Warriors. It's boys high school basketball in the Sioux Falls metro area on a Friday night. Fans still filing in at this beautiful new school, this Sunken Gardens Gymnasium, the first of its kind here in the metro. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt as we size up our keys to the game for both of these teams to win. Brad, for Washington, it would be 2 wins over Jefferson in the last 3 weeks.
Well, I think one thing for Washington is they do need to take care of the basketball. This is a team that likes to play a little more up-tempo. They're going to try to push it, but they've had some games this year where the turnovers have really hurt them, right? They're a very guard-oriented team. They don't have a lot of size down low, so their guards really have to do a lot for them offensively, and taking care of the ball is important in that part of it. For Jefferson, we kind of already hit on this. I think they need to play through Mason Payne. They need to maximize their points in the paint, see if they can get their big post really going and put a lot of pressure on Washington to have to defend him down there, keep him off the glass. I expect the Cavaliers to give the Warriors here a steady dose of post touches.
Well, in fact, head coach Tim Reck told us the same, that the Cavaliers have to take advantage of their size advantage. They do have taller players in the post than Washington does. Jeff Tobin, 4th year at the helm for Washington. We chatted about him, a good look at him, and Washington's always been a competitive squad in boys AA basketball. They rarely have an off year. Tim Reck came over from Washington, was a big part of that. And then, after a long time, 25 years as an assistant, first at Roosevelt, the last 10 years at Washington, here he is, the head man at Jefferson. We are about set for tip. Quick for Sioux Falls. Jefferson is in the center circle. He stands 6'6". And for Washington, it's Jace Woods at 6'3", but he can make up for it in his vertical leap, and we're about to see that in action. And Tommy Hoffman tracks it down for the Washington Warriors, averaging 15 points a game, the leading scorer. Verhey at the free throw line. It's a man-to-man defense for Jefferson, slashing into the high post, Sam Baskin. And now the Warriors trying to find an open man. They got it in the right corner. Woods can't knock it down, but it comes right back to him. And he's going to take it up strong. Missed it at the rack. Fields the outlet to Quick. Jefferson trying to run. They don't have the numbers. And then Quick finds one of the Washington Warriors underneath. A long outlet. Baskin catches it, lays it in. Washington draws first blood.
Yeah, Washington capitalizes on that turnover by Jefferson and gets an easy bucket to get on the board first.
So this is Jefferson's first half-court possession. We'll see if they get a touch to number 50, Mason Payne, who you see on the right elbow. Quick at 6'6" at the top of the key. Washington in a man-to-man defense as well. Patience, and then Swenson open three. Not quite there. Rebounded right baseline by Verhey, and then a whistle. And we have our first foul. Nope, check that. It goes out of bounds. Washington still has it.
Yeah, you can see on our Vance Thompson Vision replay, just a beautiful pass, too, to fuel that fast break after the turnover to get the Warriors on the board first.
So again, the man-to-man. Washington keeps it around the arc, then goes in, kicks it out. Baskin knocks it down. Sam Baskin with the three-pointer, his fourth of the year, and it's 5-0 Warriors.
Yeah, first Dakota three, and Baskin doesn't make very many of those, like you said, and so that's a good sign for Washington early on.
He's open, got to have the confidence to take it. That'll get them warmed up. Maybe he'll suck the defense in. Fields next down a three-pointer. Damaris Fields, point guard and, of course, an outstanding defensive back and returner for the Jefferson football team the last 3 years. He was prominent in those roles as a sophomore on a state title team. Hoffman, three-pointer, can't knock it down. Swenson, the Jefferson quarterback this season, got the rebound, and now Fields has it on the right wing. He's going to hoist it up again. Can't go back-to-back, and Baskin the rebound for Washington.
Boy, a lot of three-point attempts for both of these teams here to start out with.
Hoffman stopped short of the lane by Quick, but then got it back, fired it. Got a couple guys who look exactly like each other. Baskin moving in on Swenson, turning around. Swenson on him like glue, and Baskin falls well short. Ball was never touched. Out of bounds. Jefferson ball. Here's a replay.
Yeah, this is that.
Three.
Yeah, the first Dakota three by Fields, and he's a very streaky shooter. Only shoots 29% from three, but watch out if he gets hot.
Exactly. There's the bounce inside to Payne, the bucket and the foul. There you go, Brad. Not only do they get two out of it, a chance for three.
Yeah, this is what I think you're going to see a lot of out of Jefferson. And Mason Payne's just a load inside. You can see the physicality he can play with, and Washington's not going to be able to guard him one-on-one in the post.
It's a tough matchup for Jace Woods at 6'3", even though Woods is a hounding defender, superb athlete. And Mason Payne knocks down the free throw. 63% on the year. So, we now have a 6'5" Jefferson lead. Hoffman, pull up, found himself open, created his own shot. Washington retakes the lead at 7-6, and then a steal by Hoffman on the far sideline, but it rolled right into the hands of Payne. Now Quick, trying to move underneath. Oh, he just waited for a man to get there, and then the play is finished off for Jefferson by Kai Mayan off the bench, and it's 8-7 Cavs. Our second foul of the game will be on Jefferson. It appears to be away from the ball. Here's quick, Brad, and you tell me what he did right here. I thought
not a lot, to be honest with you.
Really?
He got in no man's land and got very lucky. He was about to step out of bounds. So.
I thought he was just craftily waiting for someone to come in there.
I can guarantee you, Coach Reck over there was saying, "What are you doing, son? You don't want to end up there, and you don't want to pick up your dribble there."
See, that's why you're here. Washington missing an inside bucket, and the Cavaliers get the rebound. Some subs in the game for both teams. Quick surveying the lane.
I can see Payne there working inside. They get him a touch, and then the inside out. This is where Jefferson will get good three-point looks.
Mayan missed that one, though, and Woods the rebound underneath, long outlet. Baskin wasn't ready, and a nice job by Mayan just getting in front of Baskin on that pass to assure that Baskin would not be able to haul it in, and it just goes out of bounds to Jefferson, and Washington has a possession taken away.
Yeah, those are the turnovers that Jeff Tobin does not want to see his team making. Really the likelihood of completing that very slim. That's a high probability that's not happening, and sure enough, a turnover.
So the Warriors get active, get their hands on the ball, out of bounds. Washington scored the first 5. Jefferson scored the next 6. Now they've traded baskets. And Mayan the inbound. Gym's about half full, good energy. Close girls game until the fourth quarter. Washington pulled away. Here's a 3 left of the key. And it's knocked down off the bench. Bo Kerner, a sophomore, just drills his first shot. That's not easy to do off the bench.
No, another First Dakota 3 for Jefferson. They've gotten 2 now.
Hoffman with the head fake, slashing in, drawing a crowd, turning around, creating his own shot again. Tommy Hoffman with a couple buckets in the last couple minutes. 11-9, the Jefferson lead. And then on the other end, Sam Baskin got a hand on the ball, but apparently also enough of a hand on Jefferson's Jace Unzen to send Unzen to the line.
Yeah, here's our Vance Thompson vision replay of Hoffman creating his shot. You said it, John. He's really good at that, creating opportunities for his team, whether it's him scoring or just getting into the lane and drawing defense.
This is Jace Unzen's first free throw of the year, and it does not go down. Mason Payne was on the bench quietly for a short cup of coffee, and he is right back out there, more like an espresso shot. Unzen makes the second, and it's Jefferson 12, Washington 9. These Warriors beat the Cavaliers 72-64 New Year's Eve, December 30th, so less than 3 weeks ago. Hoffman, 2 head fakes, stolen by Mayan. 1-on-1, and they're just going to let him roll right in, lay it in, 14-11. And it's timeout for Washington, as Jeff Tobin saw enough. It's a 14-9 Jefferson lead.
Well, what he saw enough of is his team turning the basketball over, and that was one of our Vern Ide keys to the game was, hey, you've got to take care of the basketball if you're Washington. And the turnovers have been costly ones. They have led to Jefferson points on the other end.
Well, and a couple of them that we've seen in the last couple of minutes have been just home run attempts down the court, and the Cavaliers were ready. I mean, the passes were not on point, and there were defenders in the area, and they were basically intercepted. So we'll see what Tobin does. Obviously, a 5-point deficit, just trying to prevent the snowball effect. And meanwhile, Jefferson has been able to take this 14-9 lead, Brad, without doing a whole lot of what I think Tim Reck was looking for, you were looking for, to get Mason Payne a lot of touches.
Yeah, so, really, they haven't had to get him too involved here. They've been able to score off the three-point shot and in transition. And Jefferson, a team that, quite frankly, has struggled to get to 60 points a lot of games this year, sitting at 14, 5 minutes into this game. They're really on a nice streak here offensively.
See if Washington can regroup its offense out of the timeout. Lucas Johnson handing it off to Verhey. Left of the lane now. And a nice job for Ben Sprecher working in on his defender and earning a trip to the free throw line. Off the bench, a sophomore, saw extended time as a freshman. Nice outside touch. Fundamentally sound around the rim, according to Jeff Tobin.
Well, Washington's not going to pound it in a lot, but if they can get mismatches like that and get a chance for a guy like Sprecher to get a little mismatch, had a smaller player on them, they will post their guards.
He makes the first free throw. Baskin, a starter, checks out for Washington. And Sprecher, with that free throw make, just 6 of 14 at the line this year. I think that's 7 of 15. So Warriors get 2 points off the timeout, 14-11. Jefferson still the lead. And now a baseline drive. Mayan in between 3 Warriors. Can't quite get it to fall. Rebound goes to Johnson. And Washington a chance to cut it to 1 or to tie it with a 3. Hoffman trying to again create his own offense, and he does. He's kind of faked the pass away, left him with one defender, and he just pulled right up and knocked it down. Tommy Hoffman off to a hot start, 6 points.
Yeah, he can be some instant offense.
Hunson in and out, but the rebound for Payne right there to clean it up. Jefferson gets back up by 3. Nice pace to this game for the most part.
Yeah, there's the O-glass, though, for Mason Payne. He had 5 of those the last time these teams met.
Hoffman feeling it, can't knock down the tray. Offensive rebound, though, and a nice alert pass from Verhey to Lucas Johnson, just a couple feet away, 16-15. Kerner, the sophomore, right down the lane, no fear, finishes, and we're back up to 18-15. I love it. Other side. Quick with the block. And now Jefferson gets it right back. Unzen, plenty of space. Can't knock it down, and Woods the rebound on the baseline for the Warriors.
Yeah, Jefferson's got to be a little careful with shot selection there.
Well, Hoffman just right down the lane, almost got it, and is going to the line. You mentioned the streaky play of Damaris Fields for Jefferson. Hoffman, very much the same way in football and basketball. And when that firecracker gets ignited, oh man, it has been a fun first quarter to watch with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, if Jefferson doesn't get him stopped in transition, it's going to be a long night for the Cavaliers because Hoffman has the ball in his hands. He's a point guard with a scoring mentality, and he wants to get to the rim. And if you don't prevent that from happening, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, he made the free throw. And by the way, he doesn't need to be in transition to be dangerous. We've seen so many just in half court with guys around him making a move to get himself just enough space to knock down a mid-range jumper or 3. So Tommy makes both free throws. It's a 1-point game, and he gets a well-deserved rest, presumably for the last minute of this quarter, from head coach Jeff Tobin. Swenson, the quarterback, and a starting guard back in the game along with Fields, passing it to each other in the backcourt. Fields.
Some zone defense here by Washington. They haven't shown this in this game yet.
Fields again. Wide open. They drew the attention inside Colby Nutbrock. Just enough of a crowd, and Fields, again, you mentioned 29% from 3. They let him take a couple of open threes, and the second one paid off. Here's a 3-ball for Washington. Right through the twine. Sam Glassrud, the backup big.
First Dakota threes are raining in right now in the gym today.
And then the Cavaliers throw it away. Here's the three-pointer we just saw from Sam Glassrud, his second of the entire season on 2 attempts. So the Warriors, who have trailed by a narrow margin this entire first quarter, a chance to take the lead. Last one they had, I believe, was at 7-6. But we're down to 3 seconds. Woods, tough angle baseline. Payne the rebound, and that does it for the first quarter. It was active. It was high scoring. It was fun. It's Friday. It should be. Jefferson 21, Washington 20. We're a minute from the second on our Avera Game of the Week. Metro Sports TV, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
News now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first and only local news in prime time. 1 hour to focus on the headlines of the day, plus breaking news as it happens. 1 hour to provide in-depth coverage of the biggest stories, alerting you first to what impacts you and your family's safety. 1 hour to give you a more detailed look at your first alert forecast, updating you every 5 minutes so you can prepare for tomorrow's forecast tonight. Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls, your first alert station.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
21-20, the home team, Jefferson, in a bit of a snag right now, having lost 5 of 6 games, leading Washington, who has won 4 of 5. And we start the second quarter on a Vera Game of the Week. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt, of course, Sam Newitt, and the technical crew from Metro Sports TV. And they get it inside the Payne, do the Cavaliers, but then they throw it away to Hoffman. Warriors trying to run. Baskin finishes it off. Nice trip down the court off the steal, and Washington retakes the lead. Cavaliers set up their offense quickly. Washington appears to be in a 2-3 zone again. Fields beat it with a three-pointer a couple possessions ago, but a second consecutive steal for Washington to start the second quarter. Baskin took in that one. Now Woods, beautiful dribbling right past Swenson. He went between his legs, switched hands, and Tim Reck is looking to prevent an onslaught, and he is upset at his players' decision-making. Washington now with a 3-point lead, not even a minute into the second quarter.
Yeah, a couple costly turnovers by Jefferson early on, and this is a Washington team. When they are in transition, you turn the ball over, let them play in space. We talked about Washington has athletic guards that can get from point A to point B very quickly, and in the blink of an eye, it's a 7-0 run right now for the Warriors.
Yeah, it was an 8-point win for Washington back on December 30th. High-scoring affair like this one is, 72-64. Not quite as high of scoring as South Dakota State, North Dakota last night in Brookings.
Yeah, that's true.
Goodness.
Yeah, the Jacks hung what, over 100 on the board?
109, the second most they have scored in the Division I era. Amazingly, they had 139 in a game against Savannah State 7 years ago. Off the timeout, Fields now running the point for Jefferson. Ethan Swenson is on the bench. I think that might be a penalty in the penalty box for his coach. Meanwhile, a lob inside the Payne. Washington gets on Payne like glue when Jefferson is throwing it down to him. It's going to take a village because obviously he's the tallest, biggest player on the court.
Now, what do you see coming out of the timeout for Jefferson? Steady the ship, get Payne touches in the low post.
But quick, looking for Damaris Fields, who at 5'8", and that's a generous estimate. Unable to leap up because it wasn't quite where I think Quick thought he was going to be. So another turnover, Jefferson with 3 already, first minute of the second quarter. And Washington looking to capitalize with a 3, not quite. Fields can't corral it. Baskin takes it. But his bounce pass to Woods, thwarted, taken away, but Baskin's right back there. And then another zing to Woods. And again, Jefferson's there with the defense, and Payne got the defense and the rebound. Physical play on that transaction. Here's Quick for 3. Not quite. Woods another rebound. He's the leader on the squad. Up ahead, Baskin. Baskin takes it himself. Oh, just goes in and out. And Quick the rebound.
Yeah, Jefferson fortunate there.
Payne finds, oh, beautiful. No one was focused on Nutbrock down the left baseline. The nice awareness by Payne. Nutbrock finishes. And Jefferson stops a little bleeding. 24-23. Fields gets the steal. He's all alone. Oh, he's contested at the rim. And a foul. Check that goaltending. Yep. That was goaltending, I believe. Was that Hoffman that chased after him? So Washington gets the points, or Jefferson gets the points, and they take the lead. So Damaris Fields is still rewarded for his backcourt steal.
Tell you, both these teams, turnovers are the things that's really hurting both of them, and that's why the game's high scoring right now, is because both these offenses are getting easy buckets.
Lucas Johnson getting a screen. Free throw line. Oh, another hand on the ball. Unzen got the steal this time. Jefferson doesn't have the numbers. That doesn't stop Unzen from trying to drive the baseline. And it goes out of bounds off the Warriors. And it will remain with Jefferson. Look at the replay on Unzen's steal. Well, no fear.
Yeah, I'm not sure he knew exactly where he was going and probably got bailed out there a little bit to get to keep the basketball.
Maybe hoping to draw a foul, but they do get the ball. Nutbrock in a bind, finds Unzen. Can't knock down the long distance, but Nutbrock gets a loose ball and draws a foul inside on Verhey. So it was kind of back and forth, some transition, a lot of shots and baskets being traded in that first quarter. We've gotten physical, and the score's been a lot lower here in the second quarter.
No, Colby Nutbrock's a really good-looking sophomore here for Jefferson. About 10 points, 6 rebounds a game. But I like his efficiency. Shoots almost 50% from the field, and just a tough, hard-nosed player.
Makes his first free throw. And meanwhile, Unzen and Fields go out for Jefferson. Swenson is back in. Nutbrock 79% at the line on the season, 19 of 24. And now he's at 80%.
Yeah, it makes it an 8-0 run right now for Jefferson here as they take a 3-point advantage.
That timeout worked by Tim Reck. Washington got 2 steals, 2 quick buckets to start the second quarter, and Reck had enough of that. Washington still playing against a man-to-man. Woods, haven't seen much from him offensively yet. Turnaround, pull up, no. Out of bounds, stays with Washington. It was Woods, who had a big game recently. Scored 18 points against Roosevelt. Inbounds pass. Woods on the wing, getting a little screen. Now Baskin getting a screen. Finds Johnson. Hoffman. Long three. Tommy Hoffman filling up the stat sheet. He has 11, and we're midway through the second quarter. Other side, Mayan pull up, had it open. In and out. Washington and Jefferson tied at 27. Nice drive through traffic in the lane for Tommy Hoffman.
Yeah.
He has 13. The show is on.
Yeah, it has become the Tommy Hoffman show. He's really carrying Washington right now.
Kerner with the slash. Traveled. Jace Woods kind of got in his way of whatever he was trying to do. And so Washington will get it right back up by 2 off that Tommy Hoffman bucket, which followed the Tommy Hoffman tray. Tommy Hoffman averages 15 on the year. So he's
exactly. That's what I was about to say. He's almost at his average. But, you know, this is what Hoffman's had to do at times this year. I mean, there's been games where he's really had to just take things over. I mean, he's got a ton of varsity experience, been playing at this level since he was a sophomore, and has been asked to be the big-time scorer for this team and the ball handler.
All-state and all-conference last year as a junior. Great instincts. So the Warriors a chance to extend the lead to 2 possessions, and Swenson gets a block at the free throw line. How will the quarterback see the court? Finds Kerner, gets it back, whips it in the paint. Beautiful move underneath the reverse for Payne. There's the big guy that was the Vernite key to the game. Get the ball in his hands tonight.
Yeah, he's got 7.
There's another 3 from Hoffman. That's well off the mark. Now Swenson rifles it down low. Fields at the receiving end. Finishes it off with the right hand. And Damaris Fields has 10. Quiet 10. Jefferson back up by 2, 31-29. Crowd getting into it. First time we've heard the defense chants. Student sections here. Hoffman off a screen. Down low. Woods is there for the 3. Nope. And Fields snatches the rebound in front of Hoffman. Up ahead to Mayan. Mayan backing into his defender. Swenson, another bullet down low to Payne. Check that. Kerner drew a crowd. Now Fields for 3. Damaris Fields feeling it, and he knows it. That hair's flying around. 13 points for Fields, matching Tommy Hoffman, and Washington has fallen behind by 5 points. Here's a look at that last 2.
Yeah, another great first Dakota 3 by Fields. He's up to 13 points, right about what he averages on the season. And I tell you, both these teams in stretches of this first half have really played at a high level offensively.
And Tim Reck, the Jefferson coach, is fired up. He's not necessarily the most laid-back of coaches, but I don't see this much out of Tim Reck. I think he knows this is a big game. His team has lost 5 of 6. He knows they're good. They're a bit hurt. Eddie Whiting, one of their post players, is out but should return soon. He calls his team a work in progress, but I think he thinks he's capable of maybe more than they've been showing lately. And he's trying to stay with them every step of the way. Even at a point in the game where they have a lot of momentum, he is showing some fire.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big game. We mentioned that Jefferson's only played 2 of their 8 games so far on their home floor. So a home game like this, a chance for them, like you said, just to get some momentum back. They lost here on Tuesday to number 1 team Lincoln. This is one they want to get for sure.
And it feels so weird, Brad. It still feels like early season, but these teams are 8 games in.
Yeah, we're about
halfway through.
Yeah, exactly. So we're about at the halfway mark.
Oh, quick with those long arms at 6'6", stretching out to bat the ball into orbit. And it goes off, I think it went off the pole above the hoop.
Yeah, it did. So that's why it's out of bounds on the baseline here.
Jefferson still in their man-to-man. We have an away from the ball foul on the Cavaliers. We have not heard a lot of whistles tonight, and no one complains about that. That's Jefferson's first foul of the second quarter.
Yeah, I think both these teams have played fairly clean game. Now, there's been a lot of turnovers by the offense, but as far as fouls go, not a lot of that.
We just haven't had a lot of prolonged possessions in the half court, so not a lot of banging around for the most part. Some hands on the ball, though, and Fields forces the turnover out of bounds on Verhey, and so the Cavs get it right back.
That's a big-time play by Fields there, getting this strip, because Payne got out of position trying to help, and Fields bothered Verhey just enough, and then Verhey dribbles it off his foot.
So Jefferson, chance for the biggest lead of the game for either team. They're up 5, could be 7 or 8. Fields has 13. Now Payne, big man move on Baskin. Draws a double team, back out it goes. Mayan can't knock it down. Right there for the rebound, Ben Sprecher off the bench. And so Washington, with Tommy Hoffman and his 13 points not in the game right now. See how they can perform. Mayan and Quick force a jump ball on Sprecher, and the possession arrow stays with Washington. Now Tommy Hoffman checks back in along with Jace Woods. Washington's 2 best athletes. So I think that's a far-out statement. So again, Washington down by 5. Looking to get this back to a possession in what's been a tight game so far. Just a minute 30 left in this first half. Big 90 seconds coming up. Hoffman between 3 Cavaliers, and he gets it to fall. Just quickly hauls it in. And the dexterity, the accuracy, despite the crowd.
Yeah, he's up to 15 points already for Washington, almost half their total.
Payne inside, has it stuffed. Here come the Warriors, down by 3. Sprecher the fake, the floater on the run. No, got his own rebound. That doesn't fall. Almost got it again. It's out of bounds on Mayan. The Warriors retain possession and a fresh 35 with 56 seconds on the first half clock.
Yeah, you could see Hoffman on that last possession just posting up. And that's one of the things with Fields in there defensively for Jefferson. He's a little undersized.
Second time in a couple minutes. Quick uses his arms to get the steal. Moves coast to coast. Pass to defender. Can't finish. A second straight block for Washington. Hoffman looking for the touchdown. Baskin stripped. And Jace Unzen whistled for the foul. I think he'll take it, though, preventing the easy layup. Again, this has happened. It happened a lot in the first half where Washington's getting some steals or some rebounds, going for the home run, and Jefferson's getting back.
Tommy Hoffman looked like a quarterback there, man. He put that thing right on the money. About 3/4 length of the floor pass.
I mean, there's a lot of football players involved in this game. Of course, Jace Unzen is a receiver for Jefferson, playing defensive back on that play. So he had the foul. Baskin missed his first free throw. 10 of 15 on the year. Now 16. Rebound. Woods can't finish. And Payne at 6'6" makes him pay. More long passes. Here's Mayan driving in. Washington trying to take the charge. No charge, no bucket, but Payne got the board, and he gets the foul. And a chance at a free throw or 2.
Well, there's been a lot of transition in this game, and that really hasn't allowed for Mason Payne to be an effective player for a good chunk of this game as far as just, traditional post-ups. But there he gets after the O glass, something he's done a great job of all year for this team.
Payne drills his first free throw. That makes it a 4-point Jefferson lead. Payne, 16 of 25 at the line on the season. Up, little left. Woods another board. Woods hauls in over 6 rebounds a game for Washington. He's up to at least 4 tonight. And now, with no shot clock, the Warriors have the last 15 seconds. And the playmaking Tommy Hoffman has it in his hands. Something's got to start right about now. He gets screen from Woods. Floats it over. Left corner 3 on the way. Not quite there. Baskin the rebound. The putback with 2. No. And that is the end of the first half. What a fun first half. Anytime both teams get over 30 in high school basketball, sign me up. Jefferson 35, Washington 31. Brad, we've been mentioning football and some football players on the court. It's fitting. We have a football score, a shootout football score at the break.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams had some really good stretches of that half where they played well offensively. But I will say this, the turnovers by both teams let the other team go on those runs. And so I think one of the things these coaches are going to talk about, hey, if you take care of the basketball, that's going to help us a lot in this going forward. But very exciting half, really good basketball overall.
We'll go through some highlights and some numbers, maybe some scores at halftime. A few minutes away on our Avera Game of the Week from Jefferson in Sioux Falls on metrosports.tv, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
At South Dakota State University, we dare to dream big. From the arts to the sciences, students and faculty discover what is possible and solve complex problems, challenging ourselves to think differently and impact our world. With SDSU, reaching to the stars starts on solid ground. Experience our elevated approach to education that prepares students to walk toward their future and build something greater.
Issues with his eyes. The minute he first came out of surgery, he walked in with a huge grin on his face, and for the first time since he was a little kid, he could see perfect.
Going to Vance Thompson Vision was an easy experience. If you're going to trust your eyes to anybody, trust them to a leader in that field.
When it came time for me to make a decision about where we were going to go for my LASIK surgery, there was no question that it would be Vance Thompson Vision.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you. With a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first and only local news in primetime. 1 hour to focus on the headlines of the day, plus breaking news as it happens. 1 hour to provide in-depth coverage of the biggest stories, alerting you first to what impacts you and your family's safety. 1 hour to give you a more detailed look at your first alert forecast, updating you every 5 minutes so you can prepare for tomorrow's forecast tonight. Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first alert.
Halftime, Intercity Showdown, East versus West, and the Jefferson Cavaliers on the northwest side, leading Washington 35-31. Entertaining game, full of big plays, big playmakers, a lot of points, and some highlights, Brad Newitt. It's been quite a game.
Yeah, I think, first of all, there has been plenty of highlights just on the offensive end. I think both these teams have really played at a high level. Jefferson is a team we mentioned coming in that they've had some games where they've really struggled scoring the basketball. They average below 60 a game. So for them to have 35 right now, they got to be feeling pretty good about that. I thought they shot the three-pointer well. They got Mason Payne established in the post a few times as well. We talked about that being a key for them. And I thought overall in the second quarter they did a better job taking care of the basketball. I think that's why they have this 4-point advantage.
You mentioned Payne, who has 8. Damaris Fields got hot in the second quarter. He leads all Cavaliers with 13. So far, the player of the game is Tommy Hoffman. He has 15 for Washington. He was lightning in a bottle for a stretch there mid to late first quarter, and he came back and scored 5 in a row late in the second quarter to move it on up to 15 points. And Cavaliers, Payne's your focus in the post when you're on offense, but got to wonder how you can contain Hoffman when you're on defense.
Yeah, that is the challenge to do that. Hoffman's a guy that has the basketball in his hands a lot for Washington, and so slowing him down is not easy. Because he's already got the ball and he's such a good player just creating, whether it's a shot for himself or a shot for others. Both of those are opportunities that he will make the most of.
Right now, Lincoln, the number 1 team in the state, I think as expected, getting quite the challenge from Huron, who's just on the outside of the top 5 poll looking in. The Patriots 7-0, ranked number 1, 45-43. With 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Huron's a tough place to go and play for a lot of reasons. Yankton leading Watertown 28-26 with 6 minutes left in the third. T-Area and Roosevelt a tight one at halftime, with the Titans looking to go 6-3 in their first year of AA play, leading the Riders 26-21. Coaches from some of these teams, they will be on Fox Sports 98.1 radio tomorrow morning on the High School Coaches Show from 9 to 10 a.m. We'll come back and we'll have the second half of this Metro Conference of Vera Game of the Week. Washington trailing at Jefferson 35-31 on Metrosports.tv, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
This guy had more issues with his eyes. The minute he first came out of surgery, he walked in with a huge grin on his face, and for the first time since he was a little kid, he could see perfect.
Going to Vance Thompson Vision was an easy experience. If you're going to trust your eyes to anybody, trust them to a leader in that field.
When it came time for me to make a decision about where we were going to go for my LASIK surgery, there was no question that it would be Vance Thompson Vision.
At Jefferson, where just a couple years ago, in year number 2 as a school, the football team ran the table, dominated Class AAA, won the state title, the first ever state championship in the trophy case here in Sioux Falls' newest school on the northwest side. Our highlights are ready, and we were not short of them, Brad.
No, we weren't, and Washington got off to a quick start with some great transition basketball. Tommy Hoffman made some nice passes, and the three-point line really got cooking for the Warriors earlier, I thought, in that first quarter. And then Jefferson matched. You look at Fields here, who's hit 3 threes here so far in this game. And when he gets hot from the three-point line, he's really tough to handle. And then I thought Jefferson did a pretty good job of this at times, getting the big fella involved. Mason Payne, their second leading scorer, had a good first half as well, coming in second in points, with 8.
Here's another look at a three ball. We've seen several three balls from both teams tonight. Tommy Hoffman again doing the damage.
Wow.
Just 2 head fakes and a pull away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I'm guessing as a coach, and you certainly have been a coach in your life, Brad, where, I don't know, you throw up your arms. You
Yeah.
go, we did everything we needed to do there, and he's still.
There was another one.
Yeah, he's still just knocking him down. I mean, what can you do to defend that?
Yeah, like we said, he's just great at creating his own shot. But I think overall, why Jefferson has this 35-31 lead is just because they took a little better care of the basketball, got after the old boards a little bit. We saw Payne there putting one back. But, I mean, these teams are going toe-to-toe. This is going to be a great second half. It's going to come down to, I think, which team can take care of the basketball and which team can kind of make the hustle plays. Who can come up with those 50-50 balls, whether it's the rebounds, those hustle plays, I think are going to make the difference in a close one here.
Washington beat Jefferson December 30th. That was 2.5 weeks ago. Neutral game at the Pentagon for the President's Bowl Classic. It was 72-64, so like this, a bit of a track meet, and we're right on pace for about the same wattage of points. And let's see if either defense locks down here in the second half. So Jefferson ball to get things started and a chance to take a 6 or 7 point lead. Will they get it more to Payne, our Verdite key to the game? The big man, number 50, setting a pick as he hands it off. And now Nutbrock looking around, finding Swenson at the top. Will hand off. Jefferson against a 2-3 zone. Swenson for 3. Short. Rebound, put back. Nutbrock, no. And Jace Woods, man, he is a Venus flytrap tonight, hauling in rebounds. Long outlet Hoffman to Baskin, who fended off. Quick flying at him, but couldn't knock down the short ranger. Now Swenson, the quarterback, with a long outlet to Fields. Driving 1-on-3, kicking it out. Swenson finishes off that play. Great ball movement to the open man. Ethan Swenson has his 8th three-pointer of the year. 38-31. Jefferson's lead, the biggest either team has had tonight.
Yeah, that's great ball movement to get that first Dakota 3 to fall for Jefferson.
First foul of the second half. We made a point toward the end of the first. Just didn't see a lot of them. If you're getting free throws so far in this game, it's going to be on the shot because it's been far from 5 fouls for either team in each quarter so far. We'll see if physicality picks up. Washington in bad need of a bucket, stay in striking distance. Sam Baskin just kind of, I don't know if he was baiting quick into that foul or if he was just struggling and got lucky, but either way, quick with the foul.
So, yeah, that's one of those where quick, I mean, he doesn't need to reach there. I mean, he kind of had him trapped on the baseline.
Hoffman to throw it in. Field vision in football, court vision basketball. Found an open man for a three-pointer, just couldn't quite go down for Lucas Johnson, but Washington gets a steal off a long pass. Baskin handing it off to Woods.
Yeah, that pass is why coaches hate one-handed passes, right? Because that thing was destined to be intercepted right away.
Johnson, a nice drive in on quick, gets the better of that one-on-one matchup. And Washington does get a badly needed bucket to cut this thing back to 2 possessions.
Yeah, Lucas Johnson for Washington came in averaging 14 a game. He's been quiet tonight. I believe that was his first bucket.
Well, he was all conference as a junior. Here's Payne. What can he do on the undersized Woods? Oh, he files it inside to Swenson, who can't finish because Baskin got there. Swenson another attempt, and Woods makes a nice athletic leap but can't corral the ball, so Jefferson gets a fresh 35. 2 minutes in to this third quarter, 38-33 lead in ball. And Mason Payne draws a foul on Tommy Hoffman. Started at the free throw line, came barreling down. That's when Swenson found him with the bounce pass. And Payne gets Hoffman his first foul.
Yeah, good little out-of-bounds set there, and Washington just didn't defend it very well at all. And Mason Payne gets another trip to the foul line.
He has 8 points tonight. He is 2 of 4 at the line tonight. Coming into the game, he was 63%. And I don't know if we had confusion, but we're ready for the free throw. And they're critical. Chance to give Jefferson a 2-possession lead again, a 3-possession if he can knock down both.
Yeah, I mean, this is important for Payne, a post player on his free throws, because he's going to get here a lot the rest of this season. He's a physical player. Teams are going to foul him.
He does get both. It puts just a little more urgency on Washington to answer. They almost do with a Woods drive, but he can't finish. We've seen a lot of missed bunnies by both teams tonight. Good looks. And so now Jefferson a chance to go up 9, maybe 10. Nutbrock, pull up. No. Woods fighting for the rebound at 5'8". Cross-court pass to Unzen for 3. No. Good look. Got his own rebound.
Yeah, a couple long rebounds that Washington did not track down defensively. Putting a lot of pressure on themselves here to get a stop.
Unzen makes a move. Pulls up, trying to beat Tommy Hoffman. Not quite. And Woods just another rebound. He has at least 7 on my unofficial count. Now here's Johnson. Oh, Swenson tried to get the steal on the slash move, and instead a foul. There's a look at Jeff Tobin, 4th-year Washington coach. Craig Nelson had this a perennial state tournament team, semifinalist many years. Went over to Brandon Valley where he had been an assistant coach for Brent Deckert. Tobin takes over, been a part of the Washington girls program for a couple of years. Here's a nice fake out. Johnson can't knock down the pull-up. Here comes Fields. Got the rebound. He has 13 points. He's going to try to go coast to coast. And he is blocked on his way up by Lucas Johnson, so the Cavs will reset it out of bounds.
Now, Fields is going to put a lot of pressure on the defense no matter what. I mean, he is ultra quick, and you've got to get him slowed down. Washington did a good enough job there getting back defending the rim.
Nutbrock in traffic and traveled. Looked like he got a little indecisive. That mental clock can speed you up sometimes. Just ask Sam Darnold when you get bodies around you. So the Warriors still down by 7. Last time they got it back to 5. They haven't had a lot of clean looks at the bucket yet in this half, and that wasn't exactly one, although it was a good pull-up. Short for Johnson. And the Cavs get a chance to extend it again. Fields gets a loose ball ahead of basket on the baseline, brings it back out. Tim Reck calls a play. What will Fields do? He'll change dribbles and draw a foul. Tommy Hoffman's second foul of the second quarter and second of the game. Well, this of the third quarter.
We should not have taken a halftime break, John, because, I mean, these teams were on fire. It was a really entertaining first half. They combined for 66 points, and we've scored a grand total of 7 here in the second half, 4 minutes in. So the offense is struggling here to get going.
You teach math, don't you?
Something like that.
Okay. That was pretty good. So, Cavaliers looking to go up 9 or 10. Deliberate on this possession. Keeping it around the arc. Payne no longer in the game. And so when you get everybody around the arc like that, 20 seconds into a possession, what's typically do you think is going to happen at that point? No one was even inside the arc.
Payne. Yeah, and that's the way Jefferson's going to play, especially when Payne's not in the game.
Turn around for Quick, who finally gets his first 2 points of the game. He averages 11 and a half. Haven't seen much from him. And meanwhile, Hoffman, who has yet to score in the second half, draws a foul on a drive. Here's a look at the quick bucket on Lucas Johnson. 2 good players going at it.
Yeah, our Vance Thompson vision replay just shows you how tough it is to guard Quick inside. I mean, he is long at 6'6", and he's going to be able to shoot over most defenders.
Yeah, good luck blocking that.
Exactly.
Here's a nice baseline drive for Johnson, gets the answer. And it's a 7-point game again. Mentioned several times, a lot of football players on this court tonight. And we got another football score, a touchdown lead, 42-35 for Jefferson. Washington gets a stop. Now Johnson pulls it back out to Hoffman, driving one-on-one with Quick and drawing a foul. And this time, Tommy draws a foul on the shot, so he'll go to the line. It's a push, and Quick now has 3 fouls.
Well, Hoffman hasn't scored this half, and we talked about he had 15 of Washington's 31 in the first half, so they need their senior guard to get back going on track offensively here.
Yeah, and one way to do it is to drive and draw fouls, but he misses the first free throw attempts. Tommy Hoffman, now 20 of 28 on the season. He was 74% coming in. Makes the second. Back to a 2-possession game. Tim Reck calls another play for the Cavaliers, and then he calls a timeout. Okie doke. I believe it was full. Yeah, we'll do that too. We'll come back in a minute. 6-point lead for Jefferson. 3 minutes and change in the third quarter on our Vera Game of the Week. Metrosports.tv, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you. With a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
We all have dreams. At South Dakota State University, we dare to dream big. From the arts to the sciences, students and faculty discover what is possible and solve complex problems, challenging ourselves to think differently and impact our world. With SDSU, reaching to the stars starts on solid ground. Experience our elevated approach to education that prepares students to walk toward their future and build something greater.
Off the timeout, Jefferson, just their third home game in the first 9 contests of this high school basketball season, leading Washington 42-36. Jefferson coming in at 3-5. The Warriors at 5-3. A rematch of a 8-point win for Washington between these two squads less than 3 weeks ago, just down the road at the Pentagon here in Northwest Sioux Falls.
Yeah, and in that game, both teams played well offensively. Shot 48%, did both of them. And tonight's kind of been the same in the first half of this third quarter, though the points have been a little harder to come by.
Cavs get a second possession off an offensive rebound and then draw a foul. And that's Tommy Hoffman's third foul of the third quarter, and he needs to take a seat. He had 15 points for Washington in that first half. And we'll see how long it is before he comes back in. Probably not before the start of the fourth quarter. So how will Jefferson do in the 2 minutes, 40 seconds to take advantage?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if Washington can afford to have Hoffman on the bench that long. We'll have to find out.
Lob inside the paint. He waits for the Vultures to scatter, and he can't quite finish at the rim.
Yeah, you won't see Mason Payne miss looks like that very often.
Lucas Johnson in between two Cavs. Swenson got the steal. A lot of steals in this game. Up ahead to Nutbrock. That was intended for Fields. Nutbrock picked it up because a Warrior came flying in. Somehow Jefferson retains possession. Fields for another three. Not quite. Verhey hauls it in for Washington. Again, the Warriors a chance to cut this back to 4, and he throws it away. I think he was waiting for Sam Baskin to streak down that right baseline and take it in the corner, and it a little early.
Yeah, the turnovers have just been super costly here for Washington in this game. And, you know, opportunities here right now to try to get back in this, and they haven't been able to capitalize.
So, here's Fields again. leading all Cavaliers with 13, but like Hoffman, yet to score a field goal in this second half. Hoffman has just a free throw to his name. Lucas Johnson with a backcourt foul. Non-shooting. It is Washington's fourth, so my goodness, we might actually have for the first time in this game bonus free throws.
Dare we say, right?
Yeah. Jefferson has 5, so yeah, Washington already in the bonus. Fields almost pulled the trigger. Here's Swenson slashing in. Off the screen from Payne. Swenson, 3, no. Spector the rebound for Washington.
Yeah, pretty good job there by Jefferson in defensive transition, slowing that ball down.
Fields with an interception, but no one was home on his pass. Picked up by Johnson. Sick moves and banks it home, and the lead is 4. Long outlet, here it is. Nutbrock at the receiving end of that, the quarterback. Ethan Swenson throws a beautiful touchdown, and it's back up to a 44-38 Jefferson lead. We are inside a minute to go, third quarter. Johnson, another move, this time drawing a foul. So Lucas Johnson picking up a little of the slack the last couple minutes with Tommy Hoffman on the bench with his 14 points, 16 points for Washington. Now Johnson, wearing number 14, looking for his 7th. Got it.
Yeah. He didn't score in the first half, so he's had a good third quarter here, kind of picking up some of the slack because Tommy Hoffman, who was really carrying Washington in the first half, hasn't been able to get the ball through the net a lot, and now is on the bench with foul trouble for the Warriors.
Described by head coach Jeff Tobin, crafty offensive player. Lucas Johnson has displayed that the last couple possessions and gets 2 free throws out of this one, so he's 4 points his last 2 trips down the floor. And it's now a 4-point Jefferson lead. And Swenson throws it off the foot of one of the Warriors, so Jefferson gets it underneath. 40 seconds remain in this third quarter, just under. 25 on the shot clock. Swenson took a while, and Tim Reck called the timeout to prevent the 5-second call. He realizes that, hey, we are on the doorstep of the fourth quarter. Every possession is precious in this nip and tuck game, and so a 30-second timeout for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, we see some Vance Thompson vision replays. That was the home run pass by Ethan Swenson earlier. You mentioned the quarterback and him coming out there. And, yeah, you said it. Tim Reck realizes, hey, you got Washington's best player on the bench with some foul trouble here. You've seen your 7-point lead slip to 4 here, but you got a chance to finish out this third quarter well. Used a timeout there to prevent what probably would have been a turnover.
For sure. Tim Reck, likely a part of tomorrow morning's KWSN High School Coaches Show. Fox Sports 98.1, AM 1230, KWSN.com, and the free KWSN mobile app. 9 to 10 a.m. We'll talk to 6 or 7 coaches, girls and boys hoops from around the Sioux Falls Metro, both Class AA and Class A. So, off that timeout, how well will Jefferson use it? 20 on the shot clock. Payne back turn, size advantage, kick out, Swenson. In and out. And a loose ball. Washington has it with 22 seconds remaining. Oh, man, Verhey could have found Woods down low to try to create something, but Payne was lurking anyway. So the Warriors keep it beyond the arc. Now they'll wait. Sam Ewing surveying the land. No Tommy Hoffman on the floor right now. Lucas Johnson had the ball stripped out of bounds, and then we had a foul.
Offensive foul, yep.
Verhey. Brennan Verhey with the foul.
Yep, got him with an illegal screen there, so a costly turnover there as Washington was going to try to get this to a one-possession game.
4 seconds and almost the length of the floor. Unzen takes it in, dribbling through traffic, on the run. And we go to the fourth, and we were dead even in the third. 9 points apiece. Indeed, our track meet has turned into a little bit more of a boxing match. 44-40, Jefferson the lead, and the final couple rounds are 1 minute away on our Rivera Game of the Week. Metrosports.tv, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
You can't afford to have cloudy vision flying an aircraft. You have to have perfect vision. It's vital. I came here 4 years ago, Advanced Thompson Vision, and had my first light adjustable lens. About 5 weeks ago I came and had the second one done. It's just the technology is out of this world, it's outstanding, you know. There's nothing else like it in the world. But even if I could get it done in Dubai or Tokyo or Singapore, I wouldn't do it except here. Only Advanced Thompson Vision.
Start of the fourth quarter, Washington the ball, chance to cut this lead to 2, maybe 1. It's been a tight game, and Spector can't finish at the rim, but he gets his own rebound and draws a foul on Colby Nutbrock. A couple players who did not start in this game, key combatants on the first possession of the final stanza. And Ben Sprecher, just being rewarded for tenaciousness, gets 2 free throws. Nutbrock, his third foul, and the first free throw not in for Sprecher. Sophomore, extensive time as a freshman last year. Good rebounder on both sides, just displayed that. Second free throw on the way. He struggled this year, 5 of 13 coming into the game. And made the second. He's 2 of 4 at the line tonight. And it's a 3-point game. Jefferson up by 7 at one point early in that third quarter. We had 66 points between these two squads in that first half, just 19 since halfway through the second half. Jefferson winds the shot clock down to 10, and then Unzen drains a 3. Lulled the defense to sleep.
Yeah, another First Dakota 3 and a big one for Jefferson to extend the lead back to 6.
Tommy Hoffman back in the game for the Warriors. He's standing at the top of the key. Meanwhile, Johnson working in on Unzen on the baseline and drawing the foul, with Unzen trying to get in the cookie jar.
Yeah, here's that replay on our Advanced Thompson Vision. First Dakota 3 just slipped kind of through the ball screen there, and Washington didn't get out and honor Unzen that time from the top of the key.
Jefferson taking a lot of threes tonight. They've had some open looks. They've had a lot that have gone, they looked like they were going down. They popped out. Not that one. Meanwhile, Johnson drawing another foul as he works in on a Cav defender. This time it is quick. So, yeah, free-flowing game that first half. Second half has become, I hate saying rock fight, but a little bit more just physicality inside, fouls being drawn. So free throws, like everything else, are going to be a major factor down the stretch. Specker makes the first one of 2. Quick with his fourth foul, checks out. So now a chance to cut this lead back to 4. And that's 3 free throws in a row for Sprecher in the last minute. Just over a minute into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, biggest lead for either team in this game, 7, and Jefferson had that a little bit in the third quarter, but back down to 4 now.
Still a zone for Washington, or is it? Payne, trouble in a double team. Mayan, he's been quiet lately. Now Payne posting up, backing in, and double dribbled. So one of the big keys to the game, the biggest, the Vert ID key to the game, and also Tim Reck made a point to tell us we need to get the ball inside the Mason Payne. I don't know if it's as much as they'd like. It hasn't been as effective as they'd like. He does have 10 points. Turnover there. Washington a chance to cut this to 2, maybe 1. Hoffman lobs it inside. Baskin splits the defense and gets the foul. Boy, both Payne and Fields were a little flat-footed, and Sam Baskin's had a lot of good moves tonight, a lot of looks. He hasn't had many go down, but that one did, and one.
Yeah, Advanced Thompson Vision replay showing how Baskin's there, posting up Fields, and Baskin has a size advantage and took advantage of that.
Free throw hit the rim and the glass, then the rebound, and a foul on Jefferson.
Well, that's the last thing you want to see if it's Jefferson not getting the rebound on a free throw.
Well, they're lined up like we're going to the line. The refs appear to be a little confused. And so now Jace Woods gets a free throw. Okie doke.
Yeah, they're already in the bonus. 5 team fouls on Jefferson here, and we still got 6 minutes to go.
So Woods makes the first free throw. He is 63% on the year coming in. Off the front rim on the second attempt, and this time Kerner gets the rebound for Jefferson. So the Cavs stave off a tie. They still have a 1-point advantage by as many as 7 in this second half. Big possession, but they all are now.
Exactly. Yeah, everything's going to get magnified here with this being now a 1-point game.
Hoffman almost got the steal. Unzen recovered, steps back for 3. Oh, can't get the friendly roll. Hoffman, long outlet. Here comes Johnson one-on-one. Bucket and foul! Tommy Hoffman. He's cooled off scoring, but he's showing his value as the quarterbacking point guard, 3-year starter for Washington football, and he just heaved a perfectly placed grenade into the hands of Johnson, who now has a chance at a 3-point play. And Washington has taken its first lead since 7-6 in the first quarter. Unzen forced to the bench.
Yeah, Jefferson that led by 7 in the third quarter has seen that lead slip away, and right now Washington has scored 8 points here in about 3 minutes of this fourth quarter.
Johnson can't finish off the 3-point play. Washington struggling at the line tonight. Or else they'd be up by a few more. Fields in and then back. Baskin staying right on him. Now Payne. Will he move in? Indeed he will. Left-handed. Draws the foul.
That good, strong post move inside for Payne. And I like what Jefferson's doing there. When they really need a bucket, they know they need to get it into Payne and let him either score or draw a double team.
Payne was an all-state tournament team selection as a junior last year, and he makes his first free throw. Cavaliers return to the state tournament under Tim Reck after the year before having the number 1 team in the state a lot of the year, a lot of the same players from the football team that won state. And they had a semifinal heartbreak out in Rapid City 2 years ago. Ended up finishing 3rd. And it's now a 49-48 lead after both free throws went down. Hoffman has not scored a field goal, I believe, in this half. Correct me if I'm wrong. Only 16 points. He had 15 at the break. And Lucas Johnson traveled. Johnson has been more the focal point of this offense in the second half, and he's made some really big plays. That one, though, cost the Warriors the ball. And credit the Jefferson defense. Swenson bringing it down. He and Fields kind of split the point guard duties for Jefferson. Those are becoming massively important, taking care of the ball, getting these possessions started. As the sand goes through the hourglass of this nip and tuck game, Payne inside. He just singed it right through Fields' hands. Johnson gets the steal, decides to not drive 1-on-2, and Washington sets up the offense. Specker for 3! He got it! Ben Sprecher with his 10th three-pointer of the year. He can make them. And Washington back up by 2.
Here we go. Buckle up. This is going to be a great last 4 minutes.
Fields, he's been quiet in the second half. Bouncing down low to Payne. And Payne, even though he only has 4 points in the second half.
Yeah, Vance Thompson vision, showing how Washington did a really nice job moving the basketball there to get that 3-point shot.
So a non-shooting foul. There's now 2 on Washington in this quarter. It says 5 on Jefferson. They have 5 in this quarter?
Yeah, they do. Yes, they got 5 pretty quickly.
Wow. Unzen, corner 3 is in there. Jace Unzen right back off the bench and giving Jefferson the lead back.
Boy, Unzen's hit some huge threes in this basketball game for Jefferson.
Nice pass for Woods. Inside the basket, mismatch on Fields. And now we're starting to throw haymakers in what has been a nice, long, feeling each other out fight. Track meet in the first half entirely. And a turnover. Fields looking for Quick out on the wing. Nobody home. Well, Quick was home, but not close enough. Here's the play for Baskin on the Vance Thompson replay. And a beautiful assist from Jace Woods. Woods known for his leaping ability, his extreme athleticism. A rebounding machine, but that was a beautiful pass.
It sure was.
Fields is out now for Jefferson after that turnover. And now the Warriors have the ball inside. Baskin got ahead. Payne went in for the steal. Baskin took it in front of him. The other 2 defenders not close enough to prevent Baskin from his 3rd field goal of this quarter. And now it's a Washington 3-point lead. And you're hearing it from the small Washington students section that came here tonight. Payne inside and the foul. A chance to tie it with a free throw.
Yeah, big time play here by Mason Payne when his team really needed a bucket. You see the isolation down low. And Payne just using his physicality, John, to get to the rim and get an and one.
So Washington now with 3 team fouls. Payne, of course, gets the free throw for the old-fashioned 3-point play. And a lot weighing in the balance. A chance to tie the game. The foul, by the way, I swore it hadn't been turned in yet. And I was actually right. It's the 3rd foul tonight on Sprecher. So here's Payne's free throw. Excuse me. Again, 63% coming in on the season. He drains it. And we are all knotted at double nickels. Inside 3 to go. Friday night. High school hoops. Metro Showdown, East versus West. Near steal by Unzen in the backcourt. Oh, what a pass. What a finish. Jace Unzen with the finish. Sam Baskin returns the favor from a couple plays ago, the high-low game. So Washington by 2. Now Payne moving in on Sprecher. Oh, muscling in. And he walked his 2nd walk of the quarter. Big stop for Washington, and now the Warriors have a chance for a 2-possession lead. Here's the replay on the last basket. Oh, Baskin a bit of a no-looker. And Woods almost got a jam. He can get up there.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play. And boy, these possessions really start getting magnified here as we tick near the 2-minute mark.
Washington up 2. Chance for a 2-possession lead. First time of the game. No. Unzen got the steal. 1-on-1 with Baskin. Can he finish? No. But Baskin whistled for the foul. So a couple big ones coming up for Jace Unzen. Just knocked down a 3-pointer a couple minutes ago. That was not his first steal of the night.
Yeah, Vance Thompson vision replay showing the great defensive play there. And now Unzen capitalizing from the foul line.
I believe, unless that isn't his first free throw of the night, that was Unzen's first free throw attempt all season. No hesitation, he knocks down both.
That's big time there.
Tied at 57. 2 minutes remaining, and Jeff Tobin calls a timeout for his Washington Warriors. It is a full timeout. We'll take it with them. Back for the final 2 of this Metro Showdown. Tied at 57. Metro Sports.
The first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
as our old buddy, the former local PA announcer, now doing college basketball games nationally for CBS Sports Network, Alex Heinert would yell into the mic, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Washington and Jefferson tied at 57. Fun game tonight, even though it hasn't been quite as warp speed scoring as we saw in the first half. 35-31 Jefferson at the break. What are you looking for from these two squads down the stretch, Brad?
I tell you, it's can they play to their strengths, right? This is anybody's ball game here with 2 to go. Can you play to your strengths? Can you take care of the basketball? I think that's going to be the thing. If a team has a turnover, that could be very costly at this juncture.
Tommy Hoffman has 16 points. He has the ball right now. He has only scored 1 point in the second half. Was in foul trouble. Lucas Johnson, back turn. Hoffman again. Slashing. Baskin. What will he do? Driving in on Unzen. Pops it back out. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Johnson on the deck with Quick. Hoffman for 3. Contested. No. Unzen had the box out on Baskin, and Baskin from behind, a little out of control, and whistled for the foul. That is Washington's 5th foul of the 4th quarter, a big one, and now the bonus and free throws for Unzen, who just made 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's huge for Unzen, who's a player that plays off the bench, but getting some key minutes in this game because of how hard he's been playing and how well he has shot the three-pointer, and like you said, now back at the foul line.
Oh, by the way, just a sophomore. He does not pull the trigger like a sophomore. I mean, maybe one dribble and it is flying. So 3 of 3 tonight. Make it 4 of 4. And Jefferson back up by 2. 1.5 minutes remaining. Jefferson still in a man-to-man. Johnson inside the woods. A lot of Cavaliers around. Hoffman for 3! Tommy Hoffman, what a time for his first field goal of the second half. He has 19, and the Warriors back up by 1 with $1:05 left.
Yeah, huge first Dakota 3 for Hoffman there to put his team back up.
Jefferson so far deliberate with the ball. 50 seconds remaining. Unzen looking for the screen from Payne. Mayan. Oh, it's loose, and Baskin got it. Yeah. Washington with the advantage by 1 in the ball.
Key turnover there.
And Jeff Tobin spends another timeout. He has 1 remaining after this. Another full break. We'll keep it 60-59. Washington with the lead over Jefferson. And first of all, Tommy Hoffman with the play of the game with that three-pointer, and then the turnover of the game that has had many right after that on the Jefferson end.
Yeah, this first Dakota 3 was huge for Hoffman. You see the ball movement for Washington, and Hoffman didn't hesitate as he spotted up there in the corner and hit his biggest shot of the game. And that's saying a lot because he had a terrific first half, has been a little quieter here the second.
Yeah, credit to Jefferson defense. He's also been in foul trouble. So Washington will have the ball in this 1-point advantage. The Warriors have won 4 of their last 5 games. One of those victories, 72-64 over these Cavaliers, just really a couple miles from here at the Pentagon on December 30th in the President's Bowl Classic. Jefferson leaking a little oil, a team that's a little banged up, a work in progress, as Coach Tim Reck has called it. Losing 5 of 6, this would be a major win. They've had a tough schedule. But they have to lock down here, Brad. 39.5 on the game clock, 29 on the shot clock.
Yeah, this is a huge possession here. And you can play this out if you're Jefferson. You don't have to foul. There's 10 seconds differential. That's enough to try to defend and see if you can get this ball back.
Tommy Hoffman versus Damaris Fields. What an athletic matchup. Baskin slashes. He gets ahead of defenders, lays it in. Sam Baskin gives Washington a 3-point lead. 20 seconds left. What a move. Cavaliers have a couple timeouts. They're not taking it. Swenson, step back 3 for the lead. No. Rebound Johnson. Washington has it. Foul. And with 11 seconds left, the Warriors have a chance at their first 2-possession lead of the game. Swenson so close to getting it right back for Jefferson. And a tie game, but no.
Yeah, he had a terrific look from the three-point line. I don't think you could ask for a better look if you're Jefferson in that case, and Swenson a really good shooter for them. And now if you're Washington, chance to ice this thing at the line.
Lucas Johnson just 53% on the year. And he makes the first. It's a 4-point lead. That's a monumental pickup. 11 seconds left. Tim Reck subs in 3 guys. Swenson, Mayan, and Kerner, check that, Kerner are out. Quick amongst the 3 that are back in. Jefferson needs a prayer now. It's a 5-point lead as Lucas Johnson, struggling on his free throws coming in, knocks down both. Warriors by 5. They have controlled, dare I say, dominated down the stretch of this fourth quarter. Brad Newitt is making his way to the floor to talk to the victorious coach. It's likely going to be Jeff Tobin. Damaris Fields out of a jam, down to 9 seconds. Cavaliers need a fast shot. Fields provides it, knocks it down! 4 seconds remaining, 3.8 to be exact. It's a 2-point game, and Damaris Fields, who had 13 first half points, had not scored yet in the second half, gives those Cavs a chance. Both teams are in the bonus. 2-point Washington lead, and so now, of course, the Cavaliers will first go for a steal and see what happens. And if not a steal, we'll go for a quick foul, and there's likely going to be at least a second that goes off this clock, and if that's the case, they'll be crossing their fingers for at least one miss. Jefferson and Washington each have a timeout remaining in this game. So the Cavaliers can somehow find a way to get the ball in their hands. Of course, if they get the steal, they're just going to see how they can score it. But if they get a foul, Washington can miss a free throw, at least one. We'll see if Tim Reck will call another timeout. But that's a lot of carts before the horse. 2-point game. It has been within 7 points the whole night. Jefferson had that advantage twice in the third quarter. And Washington has just kind of incrementally come back. There haven't been any huge runs in this game. They've just muscled their way back. 64-62. Washington the inbound. 3.8 seconds remaining fourth quarter. Spector the inbound, and right away, Damaris Fields gets behind Tommy Hoffman in the quick foul. Only a 0.6 of a second off the clock. And for Fields, that is his third foul. And now to the line is Tommy Hoffman, who has 19 points tonight. It's 1 of 2 at the line in the second half. And this one makes it a 3-point lead, and it does. Tommy, a 75% free throw shooter on the year. Again, Swenson, Mayan, and Kerner out for Jefferson. Quick, and Nutbrocker back in along with Mason Payne. So if Tommy Hoffman nails this, Washington likely seals it. No! 3 seconds remaining, and so I think the refs thought Tim Reck called the timeout. He did. Mason Payne didn't ever appear to secure the ball, but they give Jefferson the timeout. So indeed, Tim Reck takes advantage. He's wondering where the ball's going to come in, and I believe the officials are telling him underneath the Washington basket. So Jefferson will have to go the length of the floor with 2.4 seconds on the clock, trailing by 3. The Tommy Hoffman miss on the back end of those 2 gives the Cavs a fighting chance. They just got a 3-pointer, down 5 from Damaris Fields. First field goal of the second half after 13 in the first. So that's a good choice. I mean, there's some choices to make. Where do you want the person who's catching the ball to be? Do you want a long pass? You want Ethan Swenson, your point guard who's a quarterback on the football team, who's had some of those big long passes in this game today in transition. You want him to throw it deep? You want to throw it deep to Mason Payne, who at 6'6", and clearly with his size and width, could do the whole Christian Laettner thing potentially somewhere inside the arc. But Damaris Fields is one of the best three-point shooters in volume on this team. Jace Unzen has made a three. He is out on the floor. He's made a big three in this fourth quarter. Swenson indeed the inbounder. 2.5 seconds remaining for Jefferson, down by 3. And Jeff Tobin took a look at what the Cavaliers were showing, and the Washington coach spends his final timeout. And it is a full timeout. We keep it right here. Again, John Gaskins up top, Brad Newitt on the court, waiting for the quick post-game interview. It's been a fun one tonight. But Washington has seized advantage late in this fourth quarter. Tommy Hoffman hit a gargantuan three-pointer from the left corner with about a minute remaining. And he also knocked down a free throw that took this advantage from 2 to 3 with 3.8 seconds left, but he missed the second one. And that's what gives Jefferson off the rebound a chance. Neither team has a timeout left. The length of the floor for the Cavs down by 3. Top 2 three-pointing guns are Fields and Unzen. Payne is not doing the thing down the court. He is near the hoop. Swenson throwing it in. It does go into Payne's hands. Down to 2, down to 1. Payne lets it fly. It was online but short. He may have released it a little too soon, but at least he got it off. And the Washington Warriors pick up a big fourth quarter come-from-behind win on the road. 65-62, and they sweep Jefferson. 2 wins over the Cavs in the last 3 weeks. Washington improves to 6-3 and has won 5 of its last 6. The Cavaliers fall to 3-6 and have now lost 6 of 7. And somewhere on that floor, Brad Newitt is awaiting the Washington head coach, Jeff Tobin. He's there. Jeff is there. And Brad is ready to talk to Jeff.
Your team trailed by 4 going into the fourth quarter. What was the difference for you guys pulling out this win?
Oh, we just weren't getting stops. I mean, the first half, we just gave up way too many points. Second half, third quarter was better, but still not good enough. We were able to exploit some mismatches, find some rhythm offensively inside, which we don't normally do. So that was a nice change of pace. But guys just stepped up and made plays. Got the basketball to go through, and it's amazing what happens when an orange thing goes through an orange thing sometimes.
Well, part of that, you guys had 4 guys in double figures today. I don't know if that's happened to you much this year, but speak about what that meant to your team to have that kind of balance.
I think that's everything. I mean, it's nice for some guys to rise to an occasion and like you said, share the wealth a little bit. Yeah. Everybody gets the credit for this win. I mean, it was a grinded out victory just like we knew it was going to be, so it's fun to have those guys have that success.
And even though, like you mentioned, a lot of team effort there, you got to give a lot of kudos to your senior point guard, Tommy Hoffman. I thought terrific game again, had 20 points for you. Really carried you guys in the first half when you guys really probably needed him to step up and made some big buckets, kept you in it.
Absolutely. That's what we knew. I mean, we looked up at the scoreboard at halftime. We said, well, Tommy's got 15 of our 31, so we're going to need other guys to step up, and luckily they did. And that's a credit to them. That's credit to this team, and we got better today.
All right. Well, congrats on a big-time road win.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota. and the world. Join us.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you, with a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Now, the kids put on a show indoors where things were, they were calmer, literally, but boy, was it a frantic night of basketball. 35-31, Jefferson at the break. Washington outscores the Cavaliers 34-27 in the second half and escapes with a 3-point win. Tommy Hoffman with a three-pointer to give Washington the lead for good. Damaris Fields hit a late three to take the lead from 5-2 to give Jefferson a chance. Hoffman hits a free throw to make it a 3-point lead with 2.5 seconds left. And then Jefferson unable to make a half quarter from Mason Payne. From here, it looked online, just a little short, but the Warriors get the win and now have won 5 of 6. What an Avera game of the week we had. John Gaskins with Brad Newitt on our post-game show. Some highlights courtesy of Sam Newitt and the crew. And we go right to the second half, where Lucas Johnson started to pick things up. After Tommy Hoffman had a big first half, 15 points, Johnson kind of made a lot of the moves for Jefferson. Meanwhile, Quick got into the scoring action for Jefferson. There were turnovers galore in this game. One of them turned into points by Lucas Johnson, but Brad, it was fun. It was competitive. It was not a Mona Lisa, I think either coach would admit, but a lot of players making plays.
Yeah, I thought both these teams really competed hard, and it was just a gritty game. And the offenses were really clicking in the first half, not so much in the second. But I think the defenses for these two teams kind of clamped down a little bit more too. But I think the key in this second half is you see a lot of these baskets for Washington, points in the paint, right? And This is a team that's very guard-oriented, and Jeff Tobin talked about that in our post-game interview that, hey, it was great to see my team finally get some stuff around the rim, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Sam Baskin, who had no field goals until the last few minutes of this game, we just saw 2 of his big inside buckets. There's 3 of them. He had 3 of them in the fourth quarter. And meanwhile, Mason Payne, center of attention, literally. He had 12 points tonight. The Vernite key to the game was to get the ball to him and make things go through him. You can tell me if you think Jefferson adequately lived up to that key. But meanwhile, the guy that was tough to beat was Tommy Hoffman. That was the big three-pointer. That was the dagger for the game, as it turned out. There's the Fields three-pointer that gave them a shot, down 5 with 4 seconds left, and drained that to make it a 2-point game. And Damaris Fields led all Cavaliers with 16, but we can only pick one American State Bank player of the game, and mostly for his first half action, but his late game heroics, it's Tommy Hoffman.
Yeah, well deserving. Tommy Hoffman had 15 of Washington's 31 points in the first half, and John, I'll be honest with you, without Hoffman's performance offensively in that first half, the Warriors probably down double figures at the half. I mean, he really carried them and shot it well from the three-point line, created his own shot big time in that first half when his team really needed buckets. And then, like you said, big-time three in the last 2 minutes to give Washington a lead that they would not relinquish. There it is right there. And he did not hesitate, nothing but net on that one, and then stepped up, made a big free throw, too, down the stretch. So, yeah, Tommy Hoffman, our American State Bank player of the game.
Yep, 3-year starter at quarterback and 3-year starter in basketball, committed to Southwest Minnesota State. Good instincts, and boy, was that the best instinct possible with that three-pointer late in the game. Turns out to be the difference. Washington 65, Jefferson 62. Brad, it was a fun one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I knew this would be a pretty good battle, and it lived up to that. And I tell you, we're seeing this around the Metro Conference this year. I mean, it's just really good competitive basketball between all of these teams, and I tell you, it's going to be a fantastic home stretch here. We're about halfway through this thing now, but January, February, a lot to look forward to.
And for these two teams, they'll both probably be involved in a lot more of these. It's great practice. It's a good lesson whether you won the game or lost the game to play down the stretch in a big one. For Sam Newitt and his technical crew tonight, and Brad Newitt, I'm John Gaskins. Replay of this, metrosports.tv, pretty soon. YouTube for Metro Sports as well. We've got a few more games coming at you throughout January and February, and that includes number 1 Lincoln hosting O'Gorman, just off an overtime win over these Washington Warriors this week, and we'll have it on January 24th. That's a week from now at 6:45. And we bid you adieu from Northwest Sioux Falls, where the Cavaliers get the crosstown showdown. Well, the Warriors get the crosstown showdown win. Good night.